What is poppin', y'all? We are back with another episode of the Squid Game, The Challenge, Season 2 Aftermath podcast, where I, your host, DeAndre from Season 1, go through the players of Season 2 to hear their experiences from the show, what went on, and what really went down. Today, I got a very, very, very special guest. This man was one of the catalysts in the castle, or in the dorms, as you would call it. He was one of the people, a lot of what people were gravitating to, had a lot of things happen as well. And, was making it shake, bake, and quake up in there for a lot. But without further introduction, I bring to you player 100, Mark, in the building. Was pop.
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I didn't think I was like making things shake or quake. I was trying to get ready to make things shake and quake, but at that present moment, I was like, let's like make a nice base of like stability before things crazy even happened, you know? But I had such a great time. I'm so happy to talk to you today. I love your season. I've seen it like 8 times because I podcasted about it and then I watched it twice and I loved it. And then like I prepped for the season, so I've watched your season a lot.
I appreciate that. Shout out Season 1. It's a lot different than Season 2, as you can see.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But
So
like I
it's
think
it's
they're both good in their own ways. So like I think like the storytelling's more kind in yours, and then mine's a little bit rushed. But like I love both seasons for their own reasons. So, and that's not counting the fact that I'm prominent for 2.1 episodes.
yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there's a lot. No, I love my cast, but I love the Season 2 cast even more. Like there's
We're
some things
likable.
that, I mean, yes, you guys are very charismatic, likable, outgoing. Not that Season 1 isn't, but I just
Season one's
think,
great. Yeah.
yeah, I think more of Season 2 maybe embrace the show than Season 1 just because of situations and whatnot. But I'm going to go through your player profile real quick. So you are a customer service representative.
Yes.
So,
I'm an actor by trade, which I think a lot of people are, whether they realize that or not. But I'm an actor by trade, and when I was young, I feel like there's two like ways you can go down for survival jobs: bring tables or customer service. And I don't like I did not have the restaurant experience that I wanted to in the beginning, so I was just like customer service down the line, and then that's what I've been doing for 20 plus years now. Yeah,
okay, that's what's up, man. We all look, that's a hard job. I know that.
it's hard.
You
It's
do
really hard. Yeah. I mean, that's another reason why I wanted to go on Squid Game, so I don't feel so broke.
it's called. Hey, look, it's preach. You saying what really needs to be said. And so my man is in California. You born in California as well?
Oh, no, no. Born and raised in Miami.
Oh,
Like lived there till I was lived in Florida till I was 24. Moved to New York after finishing college to pursue the dream, and was there for 15 years. Met my fiance at an improv festival in Miami, and we were long distance for a little while, and then she moved to New York, and we figured out that New York wasn't the best for both of us, which is okay. And we moved to California 2 weeks before shooting the show.
wow, 2 weeks. So you're still brand new to California.
Yeah, we like literally the fires that were happening at the beginning of this year were still happening when I left our apartment to go to LAX to fly to London.
That is insane. Well, I'm glad you're able to make a smooth transition there and whatnot. California can be a great place, but it also is a lot too. It's a lot. So
But I mean, like it's the same. It's similar to New York. I know you're in New York, so like it's like there's a grind, there's a hustle. It's a little bit more of a calm hustle here, but it's still like it's very different but very similar, if that makes sense.
no, 100%. I'm in LA often, so I see it. And so also you were able to quote all of Billy Madison by heart at one point.
Yes, at one point. I can still do a lot of like several little quotes. But like literally there was like one day I was like so like I'm 40 years old. I was like 10 years old when the movie came out. So it's that thing of like I watched that movie so often. And then I remember like one day I was like I just started watching it and next thing you know my brain's like it's nudie magazine day. It's nudie magazine day and like started like doing like all that and then like next thing I'm like just basically talking on the whole movie. That's not like the first line in the movie really. Because if you see the movie it's like it'll be a little fantasy sequence. I'm like, you've seen Billy Madison, but like he like gets up and goes like basically saying it's nudie magazine day for like 2 minutes.
Look, that,
But then of course like there's like like, oh Doyle, I hope your whole family goes down. Like I pee my pants, like stuff like that. Like those are like don't leave your head. Yeah, like pretty much anything Chris Farley says just doesn't leave your head. Like I can still quote parts of the movie, like good chunks of it, just not all of it anymore.
No, that's lit, man. I love Billy Madison. One of the greater movies of the time, I would say. They don't make movies like that anymore, sadly. But so, why did you decide to apply to Squid Game: The Challenge season 2?
Okay, that's great. So the biggest thing is I'm a diehard reality TV fan. I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses. Survivor is like my favorite reality show, but we both know I would probably have an anxiety attack and quit on day two, and that is not something we need to have. And I would not do Big Brother because I don't like that kind of isolation, and the casts tend to be a little bit more not my type of speed. I love Amazing Race, but Amazing Race is very athletic. But I think if I can somehow get my legs to be a better spot, then I'd be great for Amazing Race, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I mean, I've always loved reality TV. I've applied for a couple of shows here and there. Was almost cast on The Floor, which isn't quite reality TV, but close to it. And so like during the pandemic, I got into Squid Game as like everyone else did. I know you did. So it's that thing of like this is the coolest show ever. And then like I heard about Netflix making it, but I never saw an application for it. And then I remember when they announced the like when I saw the teaser for it, I saw my friend Dash in the teaser, and oh man, that's really cool. That's really cool. And I saw like even though he was like a big character, he made his impact. And I loved the season. Like I loved like watching Trey, Leanne. I was a huge fan of B. Like she's like one of the cast members of your cast I would freak out if I ever met. I've freaked out meeting like half of y'all anyways. But yeah, like it's that thing of like I love the show so much. I remember like watching like the finale being like, huh, okay, yeah, I can do that. And I think I told my fiance I was applying. She's not entirely, we're not entirely sure how much I told her, because that was like at this point almost 2 years ago. But cut to September last year, I get a phone call. I'm like, oh wow, okay. And then I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And the next thing I'm like on the ride of like the whole application process, and yeah, now I'm here.
And now he's here and he's arrived. It is time to shine and get it on and popping. But before that, you find out, like you just said, you go through the process, get casted on the show. It's your last night in, we ain't in California at this point. Where are you at when you find out that the last night before you go to London?
I was in a very weird stressed out spot. That's the best way to put it because, like I said, the fires were happening. Our stuff from New York hadn't arrived yet, and it was supposed to arrive a week after, even though not 2 weeks. I found out after the game it arrived the day the game started, so like 4 days after I left, pretty much. And I remember like I was like, at that point, I'm like, okay, I have to do this. I cannot think about anything at home. I have to only think about what's happening in the next 2 weeks because this is very, very important. This is my one opportunity. I cannot screw this up. I remember I slept, and I didn't sleep much, but I remember I slept. I remember I was like really excited because like my flight was like at 3 o'clock or so, and I remember like the next morning I got myself a nice breakfast. I talked to my fiance. We both cried, and I'll never forget being because like they sent a car. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like a celebrity. I'm in a car. Like I'm in like a freaking SUV going from the Valley to LAX. How cool is that? And like, I remember like I was saying to her, like I'm like, I will see you here when I get back. And I have a cool story involving that afterwards. But regardless, it was so surreal because like I've been a reality fan for so long, and to have that opportunity and with all that, like I had no idea what's gonna happen, all that anxiety that I have in my heart, it was just like, okay, you have to trust the process, you have to trust yourself. You got cast on the show for a reason. Make sure that reason shows.
Facts, man. You preaching to the choir, man. You can bring what you bring best to the table, and that is yourself. And so you fly over to London. It's your last night in the hotel before you enter the dorms. Tell me how you feel.
I was really anxious. That's like I was actually in a pretty decent spot till I got my number. Cause like you get like they take your phone and then like here's your number and like I'm like oh boy, because like this is a month after season two just finished. As you know, one of the major villains of season two is Player 100, and I'm like, well, first off, I have a very memorable number and a number that's associated with the show and recently associated with the show, and I have to be the best version of myself, like at all time, which means I'm very very nice, but like it's that thing that I have to be extra nice. I have to be extra. silly. I have to be extra, like the things I know about my personality shine the most. I was really anxious because I know I'm a snorer. And y'all, like when people sleep in that dorm, you hear it, everything. And I was afraid that that was going to get me in trouble. It didn't, which is good, but I know I'm a snorer. People told me afterwards, like, you snore a lot. I'm like, I know I do. But I'll never forget, like, because you're like so disoriented from everything at this point. Because when you go in, like, I remember I couldn't sleep the night before because they literally are like, we're gonna wake you up. And I'm like, that wasn't even me. We're gonna wake you up. So like, I kept setting my alarm like on the TV. Like I figured out how to set an alarm. So I set my alarm like every hour, and like I would just see like Traders was on, Goggle Box, like stuff like that. I'm just like, okay, and I'm like, go back to sleep, go back to sleep, and then like next thing I hear like knock, 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 like get dressed, like let's go, and then like, and I just was like, I'll never get shuffled out like wearing like a parka and just trying to like not sweat while being a very sweaty human being. Boarding a bus with a breakfast of like sausage and like beans. I'm like, what the hell is this shit? This is not breakfast. This is lunch food or later. Well, sausage not necessarily, but it just was like so much fun anxiety and stuff like that. Like going into, I'm like, okay, either I'm coming back very soon or I'm here for a longer stay.
Yeah, no, it's a whole quick experience. And for the people who don't remember the real Squid Game scripted series, Player 100 was the older man who got to the final game and got knocked off. He was, if you watch the regular season, you know what I'm talking about. Like I'm just giving
He's
y'all
like the rich, like the guy who was like super in debt. Like he kept getting one more game. It's like literally my most requested thing ever. I just made a TikTok of me saying one more game.
exactly. And it's you don't want to. That's cool that you were able to set the alarm on the TV. I didn't even know you could do that. That's insane. But
So I used to work
this
at Best Buy. Like that's like one of the many customer service jobs I had. And like when my times I was there, I was in the TV department. And I remember that every TV has an alarm on it. So even though you don't know what time it is, you can be like 3 a.m. or whatever. And whenever 3 a.m. is programmed on TV, it's just a hotel, it's going to be programmed accurately.
Yeah, that's pretty smart, coach. That is pretty smart. Well, you figured that out. And then soon it's time to get in the dorms. You do make the bus and you get inside. So when you first step in the dorm, some of your first impressions.
It was like I walked into a TV show. Like it felt like I was really like there. Like, and I know you've had that feeling too, because like unlike the Korean version, our shows are fully built out. And I remember I was like, okay, I'm here. I am here. Let's do this. I'm here. Make all the friends. I remember like, like you only see it for like 30 seconds in the top of the episode. And I'm sure everyone told you this, like, you're in that room for a long time. You're mingling with everyone. Like, and the thing is, like, I'm a pretty like liberal New Yorker at heart. But, like, my brain's like, I don't want to talk to someone that like might not like I might say something stupid. Of course I was like not gonna say anything stupid, but my brain was like, don't say anything stupid to someone that like might not agree with you because that could also be used as ammo or whatever. Like I was like, okay, just like be your goofy, nice self. And like I remember just talking to everyone and being like, this is so cool. Like I remember because you can kind of see the tracksuit, right? Like in your own peripheral vision. And you see just a sea of green. And it was like, oh my God, this is real. Like, I'm sure you felt that way going into our like green light too.
It was insane, just all the people and just figuring out who to talk to. I mean, it's not hard to figure out who to talk to, but it's just overwhelming. You're
Right.
just like, you just get wide and you're just trying to figure out how to navigate. So, but a little different. Y'all are not stepping into red light, green light. Y'all are in the dorms. Who are you initially close with while you're in the dorm?
Um, so I'm initially close with like people like player 102, Emily Bro, 125, Dimitri. Like we were like we clicked very easily. I remember like instantly when I met August, player 111, like instantly I'm like this guy is good, keep him around. And like we became like really fast friends. You don't see on the show at all, but like on like day two, I was like, I feel like you're like my little brother I never had. Like every camera turns towards me. I'm like, oh boy. I said something that they heard. And like we just continue to have this conversation. He had no idea the cameras are on this. I'm like, I'm just gonna have this like honest conversation with you because like this is actually an important thing in my life. I'm not even focusing on the cameras, but I just saw the cameras all there. I'm like, oh boy. Which is like the first like 10 times they all like pointed directly at me. But I find it like Manfred is a friend of mine from before the games. That was really cool that he was there. I had no idea he was going to be playing. Jersey Debbie 140 was also in the game. Was that a friend of mine outside of the game that I had no idea was playing? So it was like really cool to have an automatic like slight alliance. And we're like, okay, let's talk this out. We're going to like work together, but we're not going to let anyone know we're together until it's too late for them. So like that was cool. I gravitated towards Sam Player 352 very easily because my fiance normally has pink hair and is a very sweet, kind, empathetic person. So it's that thing of like Sam, like kind of like became a pillar person for me very quickly. And we would have like these like actual true heart to hearts very quickly inside the dorms. But those are the people I was like immediately gravitated toward.
Nice. That's what's up. Those are all great people too. I got to speak with some of them recently, Manfred, and Emily as well. So great people, great people.
I
And
love them both.
so they're awesome. And when you get in there, you're making friends and whatnot, mingling and dingling. And soon the guards come out and they announce that you must get on one side, a red X or a blue circle. What do you pick and why?
So in my instincts would have actually been blue because blue is my favorite color. And O is a safer color for the show. Well, a safer one for the show because, like, like O means you're playing, X means you're stopping, right? So I was like initially like going to be like, let's do O, I'm gonna do O, and then like everyone that I was aligned with was like, we're going X, and I'm like, okay, you're not gonna trust your instincts right now. Hopefully this is a good idea later. It wasn't later, but we'll figure that. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I was like, I'm just gonna follow them and hope for the best.
And pretty simple, pretty simple. So you do follow them, hoping for the best. You guys, the X's leave the room, the O's stay in the dorms, and they announce the game is counting. The team that gets to 456 closest to that wins, and their whole team survives. And the losers, who's furthest away, are all eliminated. So when you heard these rules, what were you?
Um, I was just like very like overwhelmed with happiness. That's about, but like at first because like you don't see in the show, but they actually shot us going up the stairs, which is really cool. Because like that, like to like give like your goalpost, right? Like yeah, the dorms, go to the stairs, sleep at night, all that stuff, right? Survive a game, get an interview, stuff like that. Those like goalposts you have in the episode. So like I already like hit two goalposts walking into my third set of the game. And I remember being like, okay, we're just gonna breathe, we're gonna relax. This is a very intense game. I hate the fact I don't have the actual ability to control my game at this point. But excuse me, I'm very happy it's not red light, green light, because red light, green light was giving me a lot of anxiety because I heard about how bad it was in your season. I'm happy they fixed it in my season, honestly. I think it was a good placement for it personally. But that's just my take on the whole situation. But I heard so many horror stories about your season, like mainly from Dash and like other people that like did it, and just like I was so happy. I was like a little weird out that it's not red light, green light, but like also like okay, this is gonna be interesting. Like once I like what was like the scariest thing? I'm sure you heard this a million times. Our room was like actual chaos while we were trying to figure out what we were gonna do. And then like quickly, like Mike volunteers and he's a musician, and this guy Jesse also volunteers and he's also a musician. So they have a little jam session. Like they like volunteer to have like a little jam session, and they're like, "Well, we need people to count." So like they could point to Jake and make it as easy as possible for him. And then we had like three other people counting, and like the rest of us were told like, "Be quiet, give it peace." But like also like, we're all yelling while this is happening. It took like three people to tell us to shut the fuck up, and then like we just like magically shut up once the count started. And all you can do at that point is just like pray and hope for like goodness. Like you're just like, okay, so we're taking this in. This might be my only like 8 minutes in the actual game, and I hope I have a good experience. I hope I can figure it. Like I remember like just like sitting in that room, and like on my right was Zoe and Kurt praying with someone else. I believe I was near Debbie and like a couple other people. Like I'm just like soaking it all in. I remember seeing August a little further away. I'm like, I like that guy. I hope we're both good. And like I'm just like looking around like the vibe in my room. It's just like very like zen, which is so weird because like we were not zen at all. And we managed to be zen for like the 7.5 minutes, whatever it is. And I just remember I wasn't able to breathe. Like, I was, like, very, very anxious, but I was also, like, very, like, content. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, "If this is my experience, I'm flying back, cool. I'll be able to help set my apartment. I'll be able to make sure my everything's okay. I'll be there for my fiancée. I'll find myself a new job," stuff like that. But I was also like, if this is actually not it, I'm ready to fucking play.
He was ready to get it on and popping. Well, the game soon commences. Y'all finally calm down, come up with a good game plan, get the musicians going, and the game gets started. And when this is going on, are you counting along? Or are you just chilling? What are you doing during this when this actually goes?
I I'm just having full faith in them. I'm just, like, trying to soak in everything I can. So I was like, I'm literally just gonna be like, "Okay, let's just be positive light," if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. Give them your spirit energy, just like
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. Man, you got to give them spirit. You can get the spirit bomb together and press this
Yeah.
button, and you give them the energy. So congratulations, y'all make it through the first game. So that is a big feat in itself because it was so out of your control. When you get back to the dorms, you also see 431 come back as well. What do you think about that?
I was happy, like, cause like, so right after, like, like, after we, like, won, Jacob, like, goes in the corner, like, we were still in the white room at this point. Jacob goes in the corner, starts crying. I go up to him, I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" And he's like, I'm good, but I'm not good." I'm like, "I understand, like, I'm sorry about your brother, and I know that he's really proud of you. Like, we're proud of you too, but, like, I know that he's really proud of you, and he knows that you are gonna do great. You're gonna probably win the game. You're great. You're gonna be awesome." And, like, we had, like, a really good, like, quick talk. And, like, other people came over and, like, just, like, try to, like, cheer him up. And I remember we get in the dorm, we're all, like, getting very excited, and of course, the doors open, and Raul is there, and I'd seen Jacob, but Jacob starts, like, crying immediately. And I was happy because 'cause I'm like, I don't know, like, I really connected with Jacob really quick, and I was like, "Cool, awesome." Like, at that point in the game, you don't want like, my brain's like, you don't want your game to end quick. Why would you want someone else's game to end quick? Like, you want everyone to have the experience they want, you know? So, I was happy to see Raul. I was happy to meet Raul. You see that pretty much on camera. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we see y'all interactions and whatnot, and they seem to come up to you a few times
Uh-huh.
trying to suss you out. And so, can you tell me about the interactions and, I guess a little bit more detail on what they show?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so as I said, like, me and Jacob, we connected in the white room a little bit. And then, like, it's like the first time when I tell him about the Star Wars wedding, like, inside the dorms, and, like, I, like, definitely go a little, like the dream version of the wedding. Like, obviously, if this wedding when this wedding's gonna happen, but if this wedding happens the way we want it to, it's not a cheap wedding, and, like, I want it to be big because it's for my fiancée, who I love with all my heart, who's done so much for me, and I wanna do so much for her. And it's that thing of, like, I want her to have the dream wedding, you know what I mean? She's a bigger Star Wars fan than me. I'm a big Star Wars fan, but she's a bigger Star Wars fan than me. I'm a Back to the Future kid. But, like, I was really happy telling him, like, the details and stuff like that. Like, honestly, like, I had no idea I was in danger at all in a real way until, like, March, when one of my friends was like, "You considered eliminating you." I'm like, "What?" Like, 'cause, like, I was, like, being myself, that's all I had no idea I was even close. Like, I had, like, anxiety, which is what you see, like, being like, "Oh, man, I was scared, like, it's gonna happen." But, like, talking to Jake and Marul, like, we bonded, like, and the thing is, like, we actually were allies. Like, a lot of the cast was, like, turning against them, like, as you saw in the episodes, but I was like, I talked Marvel with these guys. They took cool. Like, there was, like, one day we were, like, ranking Avengers movies. And I convinced them that Endgame is the best, which isn't the hardest thing to convince someone. But I think like Raul was like, "Nah, man, like Infinity War." I'm like, "No, Infinity War is too sad. The movie like you walk out sad. Endgame you like is a happy ending. Like it's like a great movie and get that big pop of like everyone coming back." And like yeah, you're right. I'm like, I know I'm right. But like I'm really happy they didn't eliminate me from being like very genuine about what I would do with the money because like yeah, like the three big things would be Star Wars wedding, uh enough Ferris has said about that. Give my parents $1 million because I am an only child. My parents have sacrificed a lot for me. I'm not a rich kid or anything like that. I mean, like I went to a private school. My parents paid so much money for that for me to get bullied every day for 7 years, and then they paid for the therapy for that afterwards. But like another big thing is like me and my fiance, we've never had the funds to travel. And like whenever we got together when we were long distance, we were like, let's go on an adventure. So like it would be like going to New York or Minnesota where she's from, and like we want to like travel the world, like and like enjoy our lives. Like we're still young, like 40 is not old, so it's like that thing of like we and like also of course like try to breathe a little, like do customer service. Like I'm a broke actor. That's like the best way to put it, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I understand the actor's life. I'm an actor as well.
Yeah.
I understand, unless you're a part of that lifestyle, it's very different in the fact it's not always so stable. It's not, nothing is ever like, what the next week is going to bring. You could get a request to do a tape and tomorrow and it's due the next day. So you got to drop this, get ready, find somebody to help you, then maybe go to this other place. If you got to rent a studio out, do something. It's a whole bunch of things going on,
Yeah.
and
And like
being
if
an
it's Law and Order, you're auditioning like 3 times a year and you're not gonna get it.
yes, I tell people all the time, being an actor is expensive. It is expensive. You have to do a lot of out of pocket things. Definitely understand where you're coming from there. And I'm glad you're able to tell your story to them and all these things and whatnot, and they were able to understand it. But some people's stories they did not understand,
Uh-huh.
and that was 107, 285, and 286. They eliminate those three and they are out. So when they got eliminated, you had no idea who eliminated.
Um, w I realized it was the twins because like, the way they revealed it was the twins that got eliminated first, and then they revealed Jackie, and Jackie is someone I was actually very close with, because she was, like, very close to Sam, and I remember, like, Jackie was also literally, like, 10 feet away from me when she got eliminated, and that was hard because like, Jackie and I, like, Sam and Drake, like, all, like, bonded, like, a very fun, like, comedy nerd, like, kind of, like yeah, like, they're very late, Gen Z, and I'm like early millennial, but like we just like bonded in like the weird traumas that we all have, and like got along really well. I was really sad to see Jackie go, but I had an idea it was the twins at that point because it made the most sense because like who else is going to eliminate 3 people and 2 of them be twins?
Yeah, facts. I mean, it was a bold move, but they had to press the button and do it. And so they are gone, and you guys soon are going on to the next game. And you walk into the white room this time, and you must form groups of 10. So how did you decide your group of 10?
It was like the people I was close with from like the beginning. That's really the way it is. Like there's a person on the other side of my line, Carter, whom you said he's a little like blonde boy who looks really sad when my side crosses the line. Uh, and like there's like this guy Wyatt who's like a really sweet dude, and there was this well I think you interviewed Star, right? I know Star was yeah, and like Star and Bob and Denise and like those three were not the closest with our people, but like like you're like making friends, like I had a gut feeling in the beginning it was gonna be pentathlon like, I and I was a little bit scared because, like, I know what I'm good at, and that was flying stone.
Okay.
I also felt good about the top, but, like, I'm like, "Cool, as long as it's one of those 2 things, I'm good." Um, yeah.
Cool, cool. Well, you got your group of 10 and whatnot. You had an idea what was going on. So you enter the room, and then they sliced y'all down the middle. So when they did that, and you had your group of 5, what were you initially thinking?
Okay, so I still really wanted to do Flying Stone at that point because I realized House of Cards is not gonna be my skill set. Fallen Cup could be my skill set because I'm an only child and I'm awkward, so I definitely played Fallen Cup as a kid a lot. Uh, but or video games, but or played my action figures or build Legos, whatever. So it was like I'm like I can do this. I just haven't done it in a long time, and it didn't look that scary. The Fallen Cup. But Dimitri's like, I will get Flying Stone in one hit. And I'm like, I probably will too. And he's like, no, but I will. I'm like, okay. It took him 3 tries. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And not gonna dunk on him. It took me 8 minutes or so for ball and cup. But at that point also like when we got like divided in half, I knew that Leon's like a world class like footballer. I knew that Emily was only one of us that felt good about Gongi, and she's like, that's the only thing I know I can do. So Nick was like, I can do House of Cards, and Dimitri was very insistent on Flying Stone. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do Ball and Cup. I'll be done first and like be the support system I want to be.
Yeah, well, you made guys sound like you had a solid plan going into it. And so the game gets started. Now we get one group's game, but they rushed through a lot of the rest. So tell me how the game went for your group and from your POV.
Yeah, so I'm sure this has been litigated now twice from both sides because you did interview Star and Emily, but like, so we get to that first thing. I pick up the ball and cup, and the thing is a lot heavier than it looks. It was like ceramic, and the string was like 3 feet long, probably, which is, and the ball was very bouncy, so it was like made to be a harder version of ball and cup than like what we're used to from our childhoods, which makes sense. It's an adult version of a kid's game, and like you're trying to figure it out, and like it takes you a few times, and you're like, okay, I'm not getting the momentum. Of course, at this point, all the cameras are on you, and I'm like, okay, I'm not thinking about the cameras. There's like part of it's like zoning into myself. Like I'm like, I had like a couple of affirmative things to tell myself that I'm good. And like you hear me say those a couple of times throughout the show, but I remember like them like being very supportive while I'm clearly having issues. And like all of this is happening. You hear one, two, one, two, one, two, because they keep like passing everything like very fast. And I'm like, oh fuck. Everyone's gonna get out because I can't get this fucking ball in this cup. And I remember like being really sad. I'm just like, I can't give up because I've never given up. I don't give up. That's the thing about me. I just can't give up. Like, like if you look up resilient in a dictionary or a thesaurus or like encyclopedia, it's me. It's a photo of this guy. Uh, and like, cause like, I'm an actor, so I don't give up. Like, I'm like, cool, next audition or whatever. And it's that thing of like, why is this fucking ball not going in this cup? And like when it went in, you see my face say, "Oh my god, it went in." And you're like, "Okay, cool, we're good." And it's like if we get out, it's possibly not my fault, but it's less my fault than if we stay on Paul and Cup the whole time. So then like we go one, two, one, two, and then we get to like the Flying Stone, and Dimitri, my beautiful French friend, uh, chucks it like 30 feet past the stone twice. And like it bounced off the wall one time, or it came very close to it. And I remember like when it like basically had a camera, and like just like okay, I gotta go backwards, one and two, one two, and then I was like, I still can't even talk to this point. I'm just like I'm just gonna be supportive, wait. And then he hits on the third try, and then like we get to Gungi, and like Emily's hands are shaking. You see that like briefly in the episode. And Emily did like getting an appropriate amount of time, and I'm like, and like at this point, my brain's like, I haven't heard them counting in a while, nor have our squibs gone off. Okay, we have a chance. And I remember we get to House of Cards, and I look back, and I'm able to see they're still in House of Cards. And I'm like, okay, Mark, you can actually talk again instead of just being supportive. So you're gonna like be supportive as a voice too. And like Nick was having a little bit of issues, and I'm like, dude, we're tied up. Breathe. You got this. And then he's like, thanks. And then like next thing you know, like he builds it. And I'm like, holy shit. We're now in the lead. They haven't. They're behind us, and we get to Jeggy, and Leon being a world class footballer, Lee goes one, two, three, and the guard didn't even see it at first. He literally just saw like it was literally that. Then he's like, oh, and then we're like, oh my god, we just survived. It's so weird because I remember like thinking like I'm like I just eliminated 4 people, not just myself, but 4 people I got along with really well, have been day one friends, and I feel so bad because like yeah, it's one thing getting yourself along, but it's another thing getting your actual close allies gone. And then like we survived. I'm like, oh my god, my good friend Carter's on the other side. Oh my god, Wyatt's on the other side, and like I felt so bad like about that. Like Denise and I like didn't talk too much of the game, but like we were next to each other timing wise for our photos, like for the headshot. And she just said this lady, I just like felt so bad, but I'm also like, I'm still alive, and that's what matters most.
Yeah, no, y'all did that. Y'all came back just like the Patriots did against the Falcons in the Super Bowl 28-3 settings and won the game, but at the detriment of some of the friends over there. But sacrifices must be made, and y'all have to carry on the game with them and y'all spirits, essentially. So congratulations, you made it past that game. So when you get back in the dorms, you find well, you guys hear about this uh, boiler room, and our friend 272 comes back out with some cookies. Do you get a cookie?
Oh hell no. Oh no, no, no. My game was all about trying to keep myself safe. 100%. Like, because like I feel like in LRGs when I play them, I either go out like third or I go to like the final five. Because I'm a good social player. Like that's the way it is. And I'm like, I was never going to volunteer for a chore. I was never going to volunteer for anything weird that puts me in danger. My game was like, I'm here, I'm making friends, that's it. And at that point, at least later in the game, it was going to be strategic as hell. But I remember Ryan 272 was a soft ally of mine. He kind of looks like Ryder Strong's less cute cousin. And it kind of looks like Kieran Cole. And I was like, okay, he's really a nice guy. I felt like a kinship with him. We never got too tabby. I felt like it was like a soft ally. And like I remember right before my friend Britt, who's the one that's like talks up like in catch the strategy of like maybe they have like sprained wrist or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's a strategy. But she like had this like weird Harry Potter rap that she made up. And it was like really cute. And the next thing I know, I'm barging in from the bathroom. It was 272, Dimitri, 69, which is Joan, and I think 278, which is Chris. And I remember being like, what is happening? Like all of us, and Ryan looks scared. Ryan looks really scared. Like that's the thing that they don't show in the episode. Like you see him like up there being like, I got cookies. Who wants? He goes on this like long diatribe. Like the way his cadence is, it doesn't feel sincere. And like Dimitri, who's a theater teacher, and confident, is like, guys, this is nothing that serious. It's just like for cookies. And he was like, Ryan's like, you we give you a cookie if you kill us like your lip balm with your number on it. And like, why do you need my number so you get so you don't get eliminated? They're like, we weren't that hungry. We just want one cookie apiece. We have 4 cookies left. I'm like, no, no, this is like the most suspicious game ever in my entire life because otherwise y'all 4 getting eliminated. And like Dimitri's like seriously guys, like this is not a big deal. Like it's just a cookie. And then like I'm like, no, I'm going home to eat this fucking cookie. And there was no way in hell I was ever gonna do it. And I feel like the whole thing ended with Ryan eating like the last 2 cookies and running to a corner to cry. And I'm like, that dude just got eliminated. That was like my 1% first thought. Like he just got eliminated. And I remember like talking like Chris and Joe who were pretty much quiet. They're like, yeah, it was literally just cookies. Like, yes, I hope. And I'm like, what does that even mean? We guess we like, yeah, I had like everyone was like very tense around those 4, being like, what just happened? And like people did eat those cookies as you saw, but it's just like, there's no way I was gonna eat those cookies.
Yeah, no, the cookies felt like chalice from Traders. If you watch Traders, you know if you drink from the chalice, you're going home. So I don't blame y'all for not wanting
And
that.
remember the phone in your season 2, right? Like, I was like, hey, pick up the phone. I'm like, no, fuck you, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, phone too. That too. It was dangerous. So they ultimately led to nothing. But we soon find out that the guards come out and announce the slowest players from each game must come up to the stage, and that is 180, 89, 40, 344, and 289. And everyone now must vote to either keep them or eliminate them. So when they announce this, tell me what you think.
There was no way I was gonna vote anything but X because I was there for myself. Yeah, I'm there for my friends and stuff like that too. But I knew that I had a slow time, and my friends said if we keep these 4 safe, well, these 5 safe, then I'm next. And people at the that were faster, like the fastest people, were like, I know I'm next. And I'm like, I don't trust either, so I'm just gonna stay X consistent with this. I'd rather be consistent. My game was not consistent. Like that's like my biggest thing about my game. I was like, okay. Even, like so by the time it got to me, they were gone. But I'm like, I'm still voting X because I'd rather be consistent with what I've been saying instead of changing to O. Because I was very much like, please don't like I got my allies to not vote X because they wanted me in the game and stuff like that. So like I worked really hard to make sure that I was safe. So I'm like, I'm keeping consistent with what I'm saying right now. And there were people I was close up there with. Of course, I'm very thankful for 089. Mike is so cool and so talented and one of the nicest people ever. He sent me a really nice message with one of the top 5 guy now. It's Chris, the older guy. I entered the dorm as well. I think he was like the nicest, sweetest man of like innocence. And like Eric is cool, Jarrell is cool. Sean is like amazing. Like she's swimming the English Channel. Like how cool is that? And it was like that thing of like I felt bad, but also like I was there for myself.
Yeah. No, I mean, you had the idea where it's like it's just me. I mean, I'm all friends. We're all great. You guys are wonderful people. But at the end of the day, I can't sacrifice myself for y'all, and that might have been what was going on. So I definitely understand personally what you mean by that. But so they end up getting voted out. Y'all get them up out of here, and so there are 107 players remaining now. And so then the guards bring out these scratchers for dinner. Do you get a scratcher?
Oh no, I was not concerned. I don't know if it was for like this or for your season, but every meal got better than the last. Breakfast is inedible. Like you cannot eat. It was so gross that porridge. Words can't even describe how bad that porridge is. And it's hard. You like you need eat some of it, but you also like can you swallow it daily? And then like lunch was kind of like hit or miss. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but like edible. And dinner was actually the only meal that would ever qualify as decent. Like there was one day they gave us like an Italian style gnocchi with like a nice like meat sauce. So like I was like, and this is dinner. I'm like, I'm eating 2 meals a day. I need to do this. Like, I need to be smart about this. And again, knowing your season, I was very scared of things like random eliminations. So I'm like, I get my calories. I need this right now. And like, I convinced August not to get one because he was like, "Oh, I'll get one." And then, like, you don't see me like, "Dude, do not get that." And I remember like being really sad, like seeing Sam up there while like, like, cause they're like 10 of us, they're giving us Scratcher, one of those people. And I remember like Sam was in the back of the line, like Zen and all that cool stuff, and I was like so scared for her game. And it's not disadvantage. I'm like, oh fuck, man. But like, because I remember that meal was pretty good too. Like, because like there was even bread with it too. Like it was like actual like milk caloric content. Like, and I can't even explain. I was a chubby person who used to like I lost like 10 pounds in the game. Um, which is pretty impressive. I've lost like 30 pounds since the game because of my job's very physical. It was that thing of like I needed like content, like because like I was not sleeping much. I was doing 2 hours of sleep, and I like the most like if I can help get calories in my body that I good, then I'm doing that.
Yeah. No, you got to keep the energy up, man. You got to, get ahead, not just in the current state of mind, which you were doing. And we get a little snippet of going through Star Wars Con. I personally, I go to I've been to Comic Con twice or three times and whatnot. So
In New
what
York, or
in New York? Yeah.
that's the
So
best one ever. I love it so much. I met the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy there a few years back. As an early millennial, I got very excited to meet three people from Boy Meets World there. Ben Savage, Fischel, and Will Friedle. Like I love New York Comic Con. Like one of my biggest things ever, like one of my favorite things ever done. When I first started dating my fiance, I waited 90 minutes in line to get a signed autograph from Jodie Benson, the Little Mermaid, because she is that early millennial where like she's a redhead. Like that's like what she grew up watching. Like that's like her. That's the filter. It made me really happy. I was able to like. I love New York Comic.
New York Comic Con is lit. If y'all ain't been, make sure to check it out. Now, go check out Star Wars Con. I didn't even know there was a Star Wars Con, but I'm a big Star Wars fan myself. So I
Well, I'm
definitely
planning to
got
go
it.
to the one in 2027. The one in Japan I heard was really good. I hate this scene so much because it makes it look like I'm not close to people I was close to. Like those are the people I was close with from day one. And like I get what they were doing to try and make me look a little bit more of an outcast. But like I really was not an outcast in that game. And it kind of made me a little bit sad, but I'm like, I get why it was edited that way. But yeah, I love Star Wars. And I would love to go to a convention like with Rachel and just like pop around and like be happy.
Yeah, no, 100% facts, man. I'm with you on that. Yeah, and so you guys soon go towards to the next game. It is time. Kumbaya time is up, and you guys walk in a room, and there are four different colored boxes, rectangles: yellow, purple, blue, and pink. Tell me what you picked and why.
So I trusted my people from day one. Emily, player 102, is like pink's my favorite color. And I'm like, I trust you. Let's do it. Um Obviously I kind of wish I stayed in the middle because I think I would have easily survived that round with who I would have chosen. But regardless, um yeah, I remember like it was so stressful. Like because I get my dot, and then like you see like move quickly, realize there's not enough dots, and then next thing I see August feel chaotic mother, and I'm like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? And like he's like, I'm gonna stand here. I'm like, you're gonna get yourself eliminated. I remember like he was like very scared and everything like that. And I'm like, oh my god, I just like my this is how his game. I'm never gonna see my friend again. And this is how his game went. Like obviously I knew I was gonna see him again, but like my brain's like I'm not gonna see him again. And I'm like I'm really sad because like we were gonna be in the like to that as close to the end as possible. And I'll never forget when the timer ended and like he was like crying because like, it was like 10 minutes and we were all on the dots for like 9 minutes of it. Like that's so like I'm just like, oh my god, I hope August is okay. I hope August is okay. I'm playing my friend Indy, player 112, and she's like, we got this. We're gonna be good. And like I just like remember the announcer be like, you guys are exempt, and like August just starts crying harder. And I'm like, okay, well I have to win this so I can come back and play with my friend again. Um, yeah, and then like we get escorted out, and all yeah, question.
You get it sorted out, and then soon we walk into the arena, and they announce the game is catch. The thrower is a thrower in the middle. They must throw it to the person who catches it. If he catches it, they're both safe. The catcher's safe. Then the thrower and the catcher are safe. And then so on and so forth. If they drop it, then they are eliminated. So once you heard the rules to this game, tell me what's going through your head.
So like walking in that room, it's the same color palette as my elementary school deck, which as I said, I got bullied a lot. Like almost every day, I got bullied for being weird, being the float kid, being whatever, just being awkward, not being cool, not having siblings. If you can think of it, I got bullied for it. So yeah, it's a thing of like, okay, so I'm like already kind of like in a state, but like I do know my skills, and unfortunately, you don't see that in the episode because you see me cry and then drop a ball, but I can catch a tennis ball. I actually can. I'm really good at throwing, but I can catch a tennis ball. We didn't know what size the balls were. We just knew it was gonna like we thought maybe it would be like marbles all the way up to like beach balls type thing, like a 16 balls of different size. We didn't realize there were gonna be 16 tennis balls. And I'm like, I got this as long as I'm like somewhere between like 1 and 9 on the dots. I believe I was at 9 if I'm not mistaken, when I ended up being. That was mostly my choice. There were some things that happened like after that, like that we know. I was not in the best state of mind going into that game. I'll admit that in a heartbeat. That definitely is the reason why I went home. Yeah, like it was that thing. Okay, so just try to block out the room, but focus in on what's happening in front of
Yeah, no, it's a game where you see it, and it's like, okay, I just gotta just get the nerves out because there's cameras. You're in a weird state. There's a lot of things going on out here outside of just this game as well. And, we get into y'all deliberation and, 272, he comes up and, he gives his thoughts on the game per se. So from your point of view, can you tell me what happened on your point of view when it came to your deliberation with 272?
you. Yeah, I believe we talked to Mackenzie, right? So she probably talked about this too, what I'm about to say. So like we have our little deliberation in the beginning. It's actually going pretty well. Then Mackenzie brings up she can look weak, she can look frail, so people don't want to throw at her. That gets like listened to, and then like the conversation. Then 272 starts talking, for a lot longer than you see. Uh, and I remember like at first like it's like yeah, let's have like a little like minds like so people don't want to go towards. And it's like you, Mark, and like it's like close enough where it's like if I feel the point. And of course, every camera comes towards me. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Why am I getting singled out? I'm an adult. I should not be bullied. And he's like, no one's going to throw to you because you look weak. People judge you, Mark. I'm like, oh, like you see, like, I'm like, please don't do this. Like, no, no. And because like, he's a soft out. And he's like, no, but people will judge you. People always judge you. And I'm like, fuck you. And the next thing you know, my brain's like starting to shut down because like unraveling like years of therapy while on camera for international audience. And like I walked in that game at probably about 5% chance of winning, I think. That's like what I've gathered, and I think that was actually pretty low of an estimate considering I was in a good spot. And all the rest of the games after I got out were either luck or things that actually are in my wheelhouse. Circle Trust in my wheelhouse. Mingle, I was in a great spot. Marbles, I'm great at throwing. I'm great at guessing. Like I was like in a really good spot. So I was probably like about 5 or 6% chance of winning at the low end. And then like Brian, who's an ally, who I didn't quite defend it after whole cookie gate thing, but like no one was defending him. Just like goes off at me. And then like Dimitri is like, no, this is not cool. Please don't do that. And then like the whole rest of the line defended me while I'm having a meltdown. People came up to me, like Yusuf McKenzie talked to me. And then like I remember like I'm just gonna state this without going too much into detail. Studio Lambert has an amazing team of people working for them, and they did a really good job of trying to get my head back into a decent spot. After that, and they really did do a good job. I was not in a great spot because I was still gonna be staring at Ryan. And I was initially gonna try to get towards the front of the line after all that, but people ran to those first few spots. And I get it. It's a game for yourself. I get that. I'm like, okay, have confidence. Like, even at that point, my brain was like, you have to have confidence in yourself. And it's like before anyone from Lucille Lambert came in to try to talk to me, or help me or my team in a more significant way. Um, and I'm like, okay, I'm in that 639 spot. I'm good. I'm truly good. Like, you'll be fine. And then, like, where, like, like you're waiting for so much longer than you see. Ryan's two people ahead of me. I don't want to be next to this guy. I'm so angry. I don't want to look at his dumb head. I love you, Ryan, but I was very mad at that point. And I think Julie for not being directly in front of me because holy crap, I was so angry. I was so angry. I was like, how dare you? Like, that's so not right. Like, we're allies. This is not good for your game. It's not good for my game. And it was bad. It was really bad. Like, it's a thing. Like, I've only watched the episode once because like it's hard to watch. I've seen that clip a million times because it goes around, and I get tagged in it, and that's okay. Seeing I like people like feeling for me, but I also think of like it sucks that it had to happen that way. Instead of being like, yeah, Mark, you just won $4.56 million.
Yeah, no, that's on any account just not cool. Bullying in any standpoint, especially there's many reasons, many things that went down with that altercation that was just wrong on watching it and hearing about it, and just I think some people lack frame of mind. I don't know 272, so I guess I can say this more so is some people just lack social awareness of things. And like maybe I said before, his messaging, if you look behind all what he said, I'm sure like he meant a different thing than what came out
Yeah,
of his
it was closer
and
to the Viper strategy than not. Like if Viper started calling people out, then that was pretty much what Ryan was doing. But Viper being a good human being is like, hey, if we get people throughout like feel confident or whatever in the places they want to be, that's what matters the most. Brian is just like, you look weak, Mark, which is very different than like, hey, if you feel unconfident, go somewhere.
exactly like it's kind of a simple concept for most people, I would think, but I don't really see an excuse. I'm not giving him an excuse at all for what he said in the least bit, just because we are all adults here. We should all know how to talk to another unless you just don't go outside. And it's just it was very disappointing just to see
And
that and just
can I also say something like strategically speaking too? Because like we're still very early in the game, right? Let's say you get past the game, um, no one's going to work with you because of what you just said to someone. Like, what's going to stop you from saying that to them? Like, it was not strategically sound at all in any stretch of the imagination.
I guess it's on theme since he was the one with the cookies and that's how he said about the cookies thing. So it's on brand. It's I think somebody shows you kind of what they are, who they are, you got to believe him. And this was his second instance of talking kind of out of his ass in its stance points, especially on the show. So it was just, yeah, I think if had he made it, then it would have just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. So maybe he's fortunate that, he eventually gets out on this as well, because I think it would have gotten bad. That's just my take on it. But yeah, so the game soon starts, and I'm once again sorry that you had to deal with all that nonsense and whatnot. That, like I said, that is definitely not cool. And if I was there, I would have had to have a word with Mans behind the cameras. But yes, the game soon gets started. Everyone's catching the ball, this, that, and the third. Soon it does get to the disadvantages. Disadvantages happen, and then it's getting closer to you. And so, but 272 did decide to throw it to 264, who dropped it. So karma happens on his end really quick. So when you saw him drop it, kind of like, what was your reaction?
I mean, you see me smile the episode. I was very happy he's out because I was like, I'm surviving whether I say or not, and that's where my brain was. I do believe in karma. I'm a spiritual person. I'm like karmically sound. Like I treat people how I want to be treated. Like, but that was not right what he. So it was. I was happy he did. I do think it was more of a self elimination than not personal. But I've not talked to him about that. But I think it's closer to like I'm just gonna suicide bomb them.
Really? What makes you say that?
There was a lot of energy happening while we were waiting that I could tell like he didn't want to play.
Interesting. That's
I
very,
don't want
very.
like I don't want to like harp on that more just because like Ram is a really good friend and he's very sweet. But like the energy that we experienced while waiting was a very unique energy. And of course, like I'm not just speaking from my own personal opinion here. Like obviously, I actually have no real issue with Ryan, honestly, anymore. Like he apologized before he left, but it felt more like I'm good. I just want to go.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. And so, soon it's getting closer. Now it's up to you for 4-4-3. I believe Julie, it's your time. So when she has the ball, she's looking around at everyone. Kind of tell me how that went down for you.
So like while we were waiting in line, like when we start realizing things are getting depleted, she's like, "Do you still want me to throw it towards you?" Because she we talked about this throughout. Like so we are there for a long time, and Julie and I were really close. Like we still are. I actually talked to her earlier today. She is like one of the sweetest, most badass people I've ever met in my entire life. One of the most supportive people I've ever met, and I'm so thankful for her as a friend. But I remember her being like, "Are you sure you want me to throw it to you? Are you sure?" Like, because like I knew like that she's confident, but she wanted to make sure she got to the next round. And she also wanted to do what was right for herself, which is also defend people that need to be defended. I hate calling myself that, but like at that present moment, that's what I was. And I'm like, no, I got this. And like, I really do believe I had this. Like, I would have caught that ball if what happened before didn't happen. And I like got myself in the right headspace. Like, no, no, you have this. I'll never forget when we locked in. I'm like, okay, I'm catching this ball about 5 seconds. And my legs were not able to move, if that makes sense. Like, and like the ball, the throw was good. I could have taken one more small step forward. I'll admit that. But like, because if I took one small step forward, I'm in the game. It like bounced off like right here on my fingertip. Like it literally was like right there. Um, but like literally, I physically could not move. And I remember like once we like are locked in, like it's like she's throwing to me. Everything went black. Everything but her and the ball went black. From what I've heard, you literally could hear a pin drop inside the actual studio too, because like people cared that much about me. And also Julie too. And like I remember like just seeing that ball flying for what felt like an hour, like the 40 feet or so from the black dot to my pink dot. And I'm like, I got the like I just like distinctly seeing it like lowering, lowering, lowering. I'm like, I got the ball. I got the ball. And then no, no, I don't. Um, and then like the whole room goes back to like the blackout of everything else goes away. Everything hits color as I see the ball bounce to the ground. I'm not even thinking about my family, like my fiance, my parents, nothing like that. I'm only thinking about my friend Julie, who's like only been the kindest person ever to me. Like in the game, like we're very similar background. Like if I was a woman born in her part of Texas, I'd be exactly the same. Um and like we're very like we just get each other. Like that's the thing. I felt so bad. And like all I could do is just hug her because like I know like she has her family and everything, and like the money would have gone good. And like I'm not even thinking about myself, and I just can only say I'm sorry. Like, that's all I'm able to say. And then like we're hugging for so long, like it felt like maybe 5 minutes of me like her just crying in my shoulder. And I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so sad. Like I'm like it's starting to hit me like my experience is over. My experience is over, and and I accidentally got out someone I'm very close with. And I did not win. I did not change my life for the better. I didn't make my parents' life better. I feel like a failure. That's the best way to put it. Like, I felt really bad. I felt like a failure, and I had the experience, but I feel very bad. And I think Julie hates me forever now. Like that's exactly what my brain was going off while like waiting for the art scripts to go off.
That's pretty intense. That's probably one of the most intense moments I've heard throughout all the podcasts that I've done. And I've done a lot. Well, yeah, I mean, that is a crazy situation. And, you did your absolute best. I think every game isn't handcrafted for everyone's what they like and what they prefer. But I give you high commendability for, because the thing is, you also had to deal with probably the hardest situation out of anybody in the whole show when it came to the only person I could slightly put a comparison to is Perla when they did the stairs and lat shoots the slides and ladders to a degree, but I wouldn't even put those in the same realm just because she wasn't being attacked on a personal level like you were, and
She
I
was
don't
getting
think
attacked in the game way, yeah, like being like,
it was a game. It wasn't like they were coming to her because her hair was like nappy or something like that. Like it wasn't nothing like that. Not that her hair was nappy, but I'm just saying, like
I
it
love how
was
I look, dude. Like the thing is, I'm actually a model. Like I like who I am. I like
like
how I look.
her hair, Pearl's hair.
Like
But
I love who I look. Like I love how I am. Like that's a like it took me 18 years to like who I was. Like from growing up. Um, and like I remember like finding my theater kids like in the high school. I was like, okay, cool. This is what I am. They like me for who I am. Like of course the hair was like thinning out. I'm like, cool. This is what I look like. I like how I look. Am I a good person? Yeah. Like, just like I look how I look and I like how I look. Like, and I put positive energy out in the world because like I'm a goofy human being. Like you met, like we hung out before. I'm goofy. Well, I'm just like,
I mean, and really, I envy that because you're able to be your like you were able to find yourself at a very young age and be able to be true to yourself and how you were, your quirks, this, that, and the third, and you were able to, own that when a lot of us, many people in the world, we're hiding. Like we're trying to fit in. We're trying to consolve with people who might just be, just force people to like us or want to be in these groups. And, I admit to that. I was kind of like that growing up. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be conformed to be this type of thing when really before school every day I was playing World of Warcraft for an hour and a half, but
hell
I
yeah,
didn't like
dude.
that. Like, and then, but the thing is, like, I wish I could have talked, maybe did that because then I would have found other people who was doing the same thing, but I was too scared. But so I envy somebody like you who wears everything proudly and can show that. And so I think that's the biggest flex of them all, to be honest with you. So I think everyone in the show can honestly say, and all your castmates can look at you as a pillar, um, and a beacon to a sense of anybody on the show rather than, somebody who is quote unquote weak.
Like I take myself as like I hate saying this because like obviously like I know I'm kind of this from the edit. I'm kind of like a really like a mascot for the season. But I take pride in the fact that like what my stance is as like trying to be a good person, try to treat people well, have fun with it. Like has like really like bled into it the cast, or they are just that way. Because everyone like for the most part, everyone's very very kind and like you see us, we like defend each other like to the dying day. Like yeah, like I feel bad for those. Like I have empathy for everyone. Like everyone in that game is so cool and so kind. Like even if like I don't agree with them politically or whatever, doesn't mean like they're not bad person, like they're a bad person or anything like that. Like we gotta be able to connect because like we like you and me, we have an experience that's shared. There's 912 people in this world that have ever had that experience. At this present moment, it's gonna change in a few months, but it's that thing of like you and me, we're family. Like family looks out for family. Family cares for family. Family might not always love each other, but also like I don't know. It's just like my brain's like, be cool, be kind if you can.
Facts. You got to be kind, y'all, because kindness is the one thing that's going to keep making you go further off than hate. We all know that. And giving back to the peoples and treating people how you want to be treated at the end of the day, man. That's all it is about, man. Treat people how you want to be treated. And so you get eliminated and you eventually go back to California. Tell me how you feeling when you get back to California.
So like I was before I got to California, like of course like all that like exit stuff happened. Me and Julie connect very quickly after I got eliminated, and she's like, "We're good. We're 100% good. Like you have nothing to worry about. We're good. I'm proud to throw. I chose to throw it to you because I wanted to throw it to you." And that's never changed. I love that. Like some things I love most about Julie, her heart. Ryan
Yeah.
apologized to me. Ryan apologized to me. The last I didn't see the first night out. Like let's get drunk night. Like let's like we had our experience. Let's drink. And then like the last night, we're all like hanging out in the bar and stuff like that. And I remember like Ryan came down. Ryan and Dalton came down. I'm not gonna talk too much about Dalton. But Ryan's like, I gotta talk to you. Like we had like a really good heart to heart, and I was like, I wanted to accept his apology right then and there so badly. I was like, I can't do this right now. What I'm going to do right now is this. I'm going to say thank you. I hear your apology. I will probably accept your apology before the premiere, which I. But I was like, I need to like live with this a little bit because I'm not happy, and I think you did a bad move for both me and yourself. And he heard that. I'm like, I also like, I have to. I have tried to kill myself before, because I didn't feel like it was worth it. And like, was hearing from what Ryan was saying was pretty sad. And it hit like those like things in my brain. I'm like, okay, he needs a friend right now, and even though I can't accept his apology right now, I can still be his friend. So like I like we exchange information. I'm like, I'm gonna talk to you as much as I can. It won't be like often, but I'll talk to you like once a month or so to just make sure you're okay. Mm. Again, like we're cool. Like I told him like in end of September, I'm like, we're good. Like apology accepted. And then like so like I like fly back to LA and like it's like the same weird situation of like flying to LA and like being like, oh uh, like I'm like, give me a celebrity now. Like, wow, it sounds like a great experience. And then like I remember I get off at my cul-de-sac my apartment is, and my fiance is exactly where I left her. Like obviously she's done things and stuff like that. My brain's like, oh my God. And then I remember I kissed her, and then I was like, I need food because like I haven't had a vegetable like in a week, in over a week. And I'm like, I need like and like sweet greens like right across the street from our apartment. So like we put our stuff down. We got sweet green. I remember having a harvest bowl and like I tell her everything I could. And then next thing I know, I go to sleep for a small nap. And then I wake up 16 hours later.
That is hilarious. Wow. Well, that's amazing. Like trajectory on how everything went. Yeah, it's. I'm glad you're able to kind of have that talk with him, and get some closure, as much closure as you can get with it. Close it. Obviously, the show aired. You have to relive all that. Probably had another conversation with him about it.
I've checked in with him a couple times since the airing. Like, we're never gonna be like best friends or anything like that, but like I have no issue with him. Like, it's that thing of like he means
Well, cool. Well, cool. Well, yeah, Ryan. I'm gonna say good luck, Ryan, with everything. I don't know what to say to Ryan right now. Usually I got something to say to the people. I don't really know what to say. You got me speechless right now. I'm gonna say I don't know what to say. I really don't. I don't know what to say, Ryan. Although, if you want to say something, you know where to find me. That's all I can say. But that is amazing. I'm glad. The show when the show came out, you had such a positive reception, even top 5 in the fan voting and whatnot. Hopefully, they still, you didn't win the vote, but you never know what could happen. Maybe you could sneak back in the game somehow. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm hopeful because it was between I think you and Viper were probably 1 and 2. Like
that's what I think it was too, honestly.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
like I mean,
sure.
like the twins have a huge following. I think that's part of the reason they got in the top 5. I know their edit wasn't the best in my personal opinion. They kind of like peter out after episode 2. I love them both so much, and like Zoe is an amazing human being, and like it's been like her and her father are so kind and so cool. I have my own personal opinion of who I thought the top 5 was. I'm not going to share that, but like I'm very very proud of Viper. Like we both had two of the hardest exits in the game. I understand why his exit resonates more than a second chance type vote because like he chose like he wasn't his choice to get how he got eliminated, but he chose the person that was like in theory the most feasible person. For me, I accidentally dropped the ball after being bullied. But like people like are like, well, you dropped the ball. I'm like, were you bullied on international television for 5 minutes beforehand? No, you don't know what I'm capable of. You just saw me as an emotional human being. Guess what? It's a popular situation. They want you to be emotional. I'm not saying it was hand me up. I am an actor. If I was not being an actor in that show, I was being completely authentic to myself. And like I was strategically sound, but like if I get back to season 3, yes, I'll be very kind. But strategy's gonna be more.
I love to hear that, man. I love to hear that. Well, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed for season 3 with you, Coach, and we'll see what happens. They could have a lot of tricks up their sleeve. You never know what is going on with Squid Game. We never know. We didn't even think there was me. I'm surprised it was a fan vote to get somebody back in the game.
I
That.
know.
So
It,
that took
it
me
feels
over.
dangerous too in my mind. Like, cause like if I got back in, like I was talking to my fiance about this, if I got back in, there's only one of the 5. then like whoever gets back is fucked. Like that's it. Like because like someone's gonna be like, oh, either like I'm making a big move or I'm taking them out. Like that's it. Like that's 100% the thing. Like they can't give you safety until the top 30, and if they did that, then you're even more screwed. So like.
Yeah, that's dangerous. It's like the only one coming back from Big Brother, Rachel Riley last season. Like she was a target. I mean, she made it far, but she's still a target.
Should have made it farther if production had that stupid game, but that's my own personal opinion.
No, I agree. That was they did mess her up with that, and I mean, she was getting a lot of help before then, I think too. But at the same time, yes, that game did not help her. We can have that Big Brother conversation another time. But Mark, so can you give me your biggest lesson or takeaway from being a part of Squid Game: The Challenge season 2?
Uh, Always go with your full heart. Know that people mean well. Yes, like yeah, like you see people on TV or people that might have your same opinions or ideals, but like that doesn't mean they're not like fundamentally similar to you. And I hate saying that. It sounds like very, really religious, but like my brain's like, don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid to let your freak flag fly. Don't be afraid to be the misfit toy. Just be yourself. Like if someone doesn't like you, that's more on them than you. Like, I love the fact that I was like, "Oh my god, this person probably does not agree with anything that is on my Instagram or my Facebook or whatever. But let's talk to them anyways. Oh wait, they're actually a really nice person. Okay, hopefully they're not evil, like or whatever." But it's that thing of like, I don't know, like I love like that I was able to talk to and make friends. I remember distinctly on night 4. Like there's people you don't talk to just in case there's a thing like this, right? And I remember night 4, like I'm getting ready for bed, and player 318, Chris, he comes up to me. He's like, I haven't talked to you yet. And at this point, I already heard he was kind of gunning for me. And I'm like, what the fuck's about to happen? And we have this like talk, like a nice like 5 minute like nerd because he's from New York. He's from New York. I lived in New York for 15 years, and like we bond in a weird way. And I found out afterwards, like he was like, you're cool. And I'm did he mean that? Like, no, like you're like, no, no, Mark, like, he like really likes you now. So like that was the thing. Like is I don't know, like just having that conversation is always the smartest way to go. So I'm proud of the game I played. I had such a great experience. Of course I didn't win, but I won in other ways. So like I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, man, definitely. And I know I'm proud of you too. You did excellent, and I'm excited because I hope you get on season 3. I'm really excited. So I'm gonna be rooting for that. But for Mark, this was great chatting with you. I'm glad you're able to hop on. You're able to tell your story and your side of things from your perspective. For the people who want to keep up with you and follow you, where can they follow you in your journey?
Yeah, okay. So you can follow me on Instagram at MarkLevy85. You can follow me on TikTok at Movie Mark, which I will be doing movie reviews again very, very soon. Which I kind of gave up doing that for a little bit just because I knew the Squid Game was coming up, and I haven't had much capacity for movies just because my brain's like I need to like zen into this. You can also buy a cameo from me, which is such a weird thing to say. My cameos are always at least 3 minutes long. It's my own personal guarantee, and my prices aren't that expensive. I'm having a Black Friday sale for 3 days if you're interested do that. But also like if you see me at my job and I can say where, say hi, be cool. Uh, if I say I can't do something, it means I can't do something. But if I say I can do something, I can do something. That's the way.
That's the way it is, man. That's the way it is. Look, I do some movie reviews too. I've been on my slacking as well with that, so we might have to hop on a movie review together.
Oh, I would love to do that, dude. I would love to do.
All right, cool. Well, I usually do movie reviews on like Netflix or Hulu, like one of the popular ones. So if there's a new popular one, if it's like in my movie depth category is either like uh, what I count as a movie is like a documentary or any kind of thing, honestly. So if you want to do
I'm
something,
pretty open. I'm pretty open on my end. Like,
yeah,
I also do TV shows too. Like, I like expanded to Netflix reality earlier this year for obvious reasons. But I also like I had like I reviewed season 6 and 7 for The Circle. Like yeah, and I also like I love doing new movies. Yeah, I love talking movies.
if you see a movie and you seem like you definitely it's high on your folder, then just holler at me and I'll do the review more than happily to do it with you because
Okay.
after the show I was doing a lot of I got into my review bag and it was good, really, really, really well. I watched a lot more movies than I ever have. But I just, I just got caught up with some other things. But I'm back on track. I'm and we doing it. So we gonna have to collab with that. But yeah, Mark, that's excellent. Find him on Cameo, y'all. It's holiday season. It's holiday season, and we need them. So, Mark, like I said, once again, it was great to talk to you. I'm glad we got to do this. And for the rest of the people back at home, thank y'all for listening, tuning in, and joining. Peace, blessings, deuces. Till next time. Have a great rest of your day and happy Thanksgiving.